Radical equations. Number 1 is asking you to solve the equation. So let's take a closer look at it. So the first thing we're going to do is add 6 to both sides. To get the y out of the square root, we got to square both sides of the equation. So we square both sides, and on the left we're left with 3y plus 4, and on the right 7 squared is 49. Then we subtract 4 from both sides, we get 3y equals 45. Divide both sides by 3, and y equals 15. Now we don't need to check for extraneous solutions because you only have one solution. So let's put this in. So y equals 15. And that's number 1. Going to number 5, it wants you to solve. In this one we are going to have to check for extraneous solutions. So let's do that. So the first thing we're going to do is subtract 1 to the other side. So we have x minus 1 equals the square root of 5x minus 5. Now to get this x out of the square root, we're going to square both sides of the equation. So we get x minus 1 squared equals the square root of 5x minus 5 squared. And that leaves us with 5x minus 5 on the right, and on the left we're going to have to expand that. So expanding that gives us x minus 1 times x minus 1. Now we're going to have to FOIL that. So doing that gives me x squared minus 2x plus 1. Now I'm going to move everything to the left to have it set equal to 0. So subtract 5x and add 5, and I get x squared minus 7x plus 6 equals 0. Now I'm going to have to factor. So looking for two numbers that multiply to 6 but add up to negative 7 is going to be negative 6 and negative 1. So x minus 6 times x minus 1 equals 0. Setting both equal to 0, we get for x's x equals 6 or x equals 1. Now we're going to have to substitute 6 and 1 in and see which is actually our solution. So let's do that. So substituting 6 in, I'll have 5 times 6 minus 5 in the square root plus 1 equals 6. So 5 times 6 is 30, and 30 minus 5 is 25. The square root of 25 is 5, and 5 plus 1 does equal 6. So this is one of our solutions. Let's check the second one. So substituting in 1, 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 minus 5 is 0. So 1 equals the square root of 0 plus 1, and 1 equals 1. So this in fact does end up being a solution too. Now if I had gone through this, and these numbers were different, or these numbers were different, then we would say that answer is a extraneous solution and would not be one of our actual solutions. So let's type both of those in, since they're both solutions. So your answers are 6 and 1. And that's number 5.